Hiber-Nation 16. Grizzly's Growls presents Stories from the Hiber-Nation. A handy guide for beggars, especially those of the poetic fraternity, by Vachel Lindsay. Part 2. A Mendicant Pilgrimage in the East. In Lost Jerusalem. Behold the Pharisees, proud, rich, and damned, boasting themselves in lost Jerusalem, gathered a weeping woman to condemn, then, watching curiously, without a sound, the God of mercy, writing on the ground. How looked his sunburned face beneath the sun, flushed with his Father's mighty angel wine. God, make us all divine. A Temple Made with Hands. Part 1. The Dwelling Place of Faith, Hope, and Charity. I had walked 12 miles before noon. Then I had eaten 4 slices of bread and butter on merciful doorsteps. At 4:30, having completed 21 miles, I entered the richest village in the United States, a village that is located in New Jersey. I was so weary, I was ready to sleep in the gutter, and I did not care if the wagons ran over me. I should have walked through to the green fields before I looked for hospitality. I knew that the well-meant deeds of the city cannot equal the kindness of the most commonplace farmhand. Yet I lingered. I purchased a feast of beefsteak and onions at an obscure Jewish restaurant and felt myself once more a man. But it was now too late to leave town. The rule of the country is one must ask for his night's lodging before 5 o'clock. After that, things are growing dark, and people may be afraid of you. Well, after paying for beefsteak and onions, I had 25 cents. And this 25 cents was all that remained after a winter's lecturing on art and poetry in Manhattan. I am satisfied that the extra money, over and above all paid debts, brought me some of the ill luck of the night. As I have before observed, money is a hoodoo on the road. Until a man is penniless, he is not stripped for action. A sign at the lunch counter advertised, "Furnished rooms, 50 cents. I asked the proprietor to cut the price. He dodged the issue. "Say, why don't you go up there to the Mission? They'll sell you a good bed cheap." "For a quarter?" "Oh, something like that." "Well, show me the place." Well, as of old, the Jew pointed out the way of salvation. The Gentile followed it and reached the dwelling place of faith, hope, and charity. "What do you want?" The questioner, evidently in charge of the place, was accoutred in stage laboring man style. Maybe his paraphernalia was intended to put him on a level with the wayfarers. He wore a slouch hat, soft shirt, and no necktie. His clothes had the store freshness still. They looked rather presumptuous in that neat, well-stocked reading room. "I want a cheap bed." "Well, we do not sell beds." "I was told you did." "Well, we give them away." "All right, but you have to work." "Very well. Do you want to leave early in the morning?" The place was evidently a halfway house for tramps. "Well, yes, I want to leave early in the morning." "Then you'll have to split kindling 2 hours tonight." "Okay, show me the kindling." Part 2. Splitting Kindling. In the basement, I throned myself on one block while I chopped kindling on another. Now, before me, piled to the first story, was a cellar full of wood, the record of my predecessors in toil. I gathered that the corporal's guard of the unemployed who stayed at the Mission at night, and had been there 2 or 3 days, had finished their day's assignment of splitting. They completely surrounded me, questioned me with the greatest curiosity, and put me down as a terrific liar, for I answered every question with simple truth. As soon as the melodramatic working-man boss went upstairs, one of them said, Well, don't work so fast. It's only a matter of form this late at night. They want to see if you're willing, that's all. Well, I chopped a little faster for this advice. Not that I was out of humor with the advisors, though I should have been, for they were boxcar tramps. One of them, having an evil and a witty eye, said, "Well, if I was going west like you, I'd start about 10 o'clock tonight and be near Buffalo before morning." Another, a mild nobody, professed himself a miller. He told what a wonderful trick it was to say, "Lady, I'm too tired to work till I eat," and after eating to walk away. The next, a carriage painter of battered gentility, told endless stories of the sprees that had destroyed him. Another, a white frog with a bald head and a gray mustache, quite won my heart. He said, "Wait till you get a nice warm bath after service, then you'll sleep good." To my weary and addled brain, the mission was like one of those beautiful resting places in Pilgrim's Progress. It became my religion, just a split kindling. I failed to apprehend what infinitesimal nobodies these fellows around me were. I should have disliked them more. The modern tramp is not a tramp. He is a speed maniac. Being unable to afford luxuries, he must still be near something mechanical and hasty, so he uses a dirty boxcar to whirl from one railroad yard to another. He has no destination but the cinder pile by the water tank. The landscape hurrying by in one indistinguishable mass, and the roaring of the car wheels in his ears are the ends of life to him. He is no back-to-nature crank. He is a most highly specialized modern man. All to keep going, he risks disease from these religious missions, from foul boxcars and foul comrades. He risks accident every hour. He is always liable to the cruelty of conductor or brakeman, and to murder by his companions. He runs fewer risks in the country, yet his aversion to the country is profound. He knows all that I know about country hospitality, that it can be purchased by the merest grain of courtesy. Yet most of the farm people that entertained me had not seen a tramp for months. Now, to account for some of the happenings of this tale, I will only add that a speed maniac at either end of the social scale is not necessarily a hustler, personally, but in one way or another he is sure to be shallow and artificial, the grotesque, nervous victim of machinery. And a mission, an institution built by speed maniacs who use automobiles for speed maniacs who use boxcars, is bound to be absurd, beyond words to tell it. Thanks for listening to Stories from the Hiber-Nation. Comment on the website at grizzly.libsyn.com. This program is sponsored by donations from people like you and is released with a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives license.